Hello, everyone. It is Rory here at that Eurovision site, Eurovision with a Slice of Life. I am joined by the lovely Sivi. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Lovely, fantastic. So, as you can see from the title of this video, we are talking all things Sanremo, Italy's national selections, not selection slash Sanremo within itself. The shows are all over and done with, and we have our winner, which is Sal Da Vinci with Per Sempre Sì. We have some thoughts about this, so let's just waste no time and let's just get straight into it. Sanremo is back once again, and they brought a total of 30 different acts to the stage this time. I think the most it's been in a very long time, it feels like. And yeah, we have our winner with Sal Da Vinci and Per Sempre Sì. I mean, obviously, Sivi, you are Italian, so in a way, you have that kind of thing. What was your kind of impression of the names for Sanremo when they first came out?
All right, so overall, people in Italy weren't that happy because most of them are, or were at least, unknown to some people. We didn't see like those big names we usually see on the Ariston stage. However, I actually liked the names when they first came out, I've got to say. I actually enjoy all those, well, not all of them, but most of those singers. So yeah, I was quite happy with them.
All right, fair, yeah. I mean, to be honest, when I was looking at the names, I was like, there were some like names that I had recognized kind of coming back. Like, obviously Fedez was there, Emil Meta was there, obviously to Malika Ayane, obviously she was there, Aditya La Piaga, Leo Gassman. So like there were names that were kind of already known to people who were following Sanremo anyway. So I think it was kind of nice to have them kind of come back. Also kind of fan favorites from before, like Elettra Lamborghini as well, and also Levante as well. Like I think a lot of them were quite, well known and well respected artists anyway there. So I think, the names were pretty good. I think obviously it's very hard when you kind of get the names first and then you don't really hear the songs until then, so you can't really generate any
Yeah.
kind of hype. So but in a way, I think it's kind of a good way because it means it kind of equalizes everyone's chances until the first night when everyone gets sort of their first chance to sort of sing their song. Um, so after you heard of all of the songs and everything, what was your impression of all of the songs? Do you think that this was a good year for Sanremo?
Well, I think it was a good year. I wouldn't call it a bad year, but it definitely wasn't the best. If I have to compare it to other years, like, I don't know, 2017, 2015, but those were too amazing. So, but I think it was pretty good overall. There were songs that I enjoyed, songs that I liked, songs that I didn't like, but honestly, overall, I feel like it was decent.
Yeah, yeah, I think it was like it definitely for me this year didn't really stack up to the same levels as we did for maybe like 2022, 2024, like kind of those kind of classic years, I think, of Sanremo. Like, but there were still some good songs that kind of came out from this year. Like there are some that I did really enjoy. I kept coming back to over the course of the week, and there's still some that I kind of still listen to now. Like we're recording this a couple of weeks after the show. Um, and yeah, so like, what were some of your favorite songs that kind of came out from this year?
All right, so okay, so this is a little bit weird, but I'm from Rome, and in Rome we love indie, and Fulminacci is that. So he sent something like like he just sent his vibe, and I love Fulminacci, so he was my winner. Then I also enjoyed Save's song. It was quite catchy. I also liked Bambole di Pezza.
Oh yeah, that
They
was a
were
good one.
great.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, I just kind of
Yeah,
looking back at like all of these ones, it's like, oh my God, yeah, I completely forgot that they were in that. But I actually really liked their song when they first came out. Yeah.
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 And yeah, Knight too. I liked him. And yeah, there are other names, but my absolute favorite is Fulminacci.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, that's good though. You clearly had like a good taste in there, and it was very good like variety of stuff there too, which is good. For me, it was like For me, I mean, I was kind of immediately sold on the first listen to Que Fastidio. Dito nella Piaga. I loved Kimika when it first came out in 2022, so I kind of knew her anyway. And I'm not saying I had like any expectations about her, but then as soon as, the song was performed, I was like, well, this is song number one. So it kind of set like song number one on the first night. So you kind of were thinking, okay, is it all going to be like this? And then you found out that actually, no, this was the only one in its genre. So I was like, okay, right.
Yeah,
But if anything, that kind of made it better. I kind of because it even like just made it a lot more stand out, which I absolutely love. Still listen to it this to this day. I think it's an absolute travesty that it didn't win, but that's a story for another time. But yes, there's that song that I liked. I also like Levante. I did really like Sei Tu. Erma Meta as well. I did obviously like, Stella Stellina. It was fantastic that he was able to kind of bring that message as well to a huge audience as well. Um, and yeah, I mean, I am going to be a little bit kind of basic here, but I did also like Leo Gassman. I did think it was a bit like I know it wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but there was just something about it that just really, just, I don't know, scratched my brain in the right way, which I really, really liked. So, yeah. And again, also Bambola de Pizza, I think it was really, really good. I think that, like we haven't really had those kind of like girl kind of rock band kind of styles
yeah,
things in a very long time. So, it was good to see that kind of genre kind of shift as well. But yeah. I think it was good in the fact that they had lots of different songs for everyone, essentially. Like some were a little bit more comical, like obviously you saw with like Italia Starter Pack, for example. Like, don't even know where that even came from, but okay, yeah, love that. But I think it was overall, I think like the quality was fine. Like I was saying, it wasn't a huge fan favorite, but like the ones that hit hard, they hit hard, like really, really well.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, so like yeah, what do you make then of the results of everything? Obviously we had the super final kind of come through, and it was a very tight kind of eventual final result in the end. I mean, 2% basically separated the top three. So
No less. Yeah, what the top three was 2%. You're right. Yep.
yeah, yeah. So what did you make of the results and sort of Sal Da Vinci winning?
So what do I think? Well, it was kind of unexpected, I gotta say, because the first time I listened to the song, so wait, when the names came out, I said, okay, Sal Da Vinci might have chances. Didn't fully believe it, but he had like a massive hit last year. I think Rosette Cafe is a song that has, I think, more than 100 million views on YouTube, like just massive hit. And so everybody started knowing him from there, and so there was hype about him, right? When this song came out, I mean, at least when I first listened to it, I said, no, he's not gonna win it. He did. It was kind of unexpected at first, but honestly, starting from I think it was the third night when he performed for the second time. Um, I don't know, there was so much hype, and I started believing in it. So it wasn't too unexpected, but at the same time, it somehow was because I would never expect a song like this to win Sanremo. I mean, if I compare it to the recent winners we've had, it's just different, like I'm not saying it's bad, it's just really different because Italy, I mean, at least Sanremo is kind of known to send, not to send, but like to make serious songs win. So for
Yeah.
once, having something truly fun is like interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, and I think as well, like it is a complete shift from the kind of songs that you're used to sort of seeing win Sanremo. I mean, obviously you had Ollie winning last year, and then like that was quite a dramatic kind of ballad kind of style thing. And then obviously then, Angelina Mango was a lot more up tempo, it was a lot more kind of, but there
Yeah,
was still a message to it as well. This just seems like fun, which is kind of strange. But yeah. For me, my little heart was crushed when I heard Di Nella Piaga come third, but you know what? Like that's just because I'm a little stan like that. But I did like the top five. I think all of them had something really good. They all had something that really brought something individual to it. Like, Fedez and Marco Massini, like that in itself was just that was like going into it like one of the huge fan favorites, and I was fully
yeah.
expecting that to be in the top two. And then when they were announced as being fifth, I was like, wow, okay, so anything is
Mm.
possible. Yeah, and then when Sal won, I was like, what? I think a lot of people's collective idea was just like, What? Okay, yeah, that's a thing. Okay, sure. You know, um, I think it's just because again, we're used to seeing stuff that's very classy but like modern, whereas this is
Mhm.
classy but kind of in a classic way, if you know what I mean. So it's not like, you know, 21st century like hip hop. It feels like something from like the late 1970s, kind of early 1980s, that kind of thing. So, I mean, Italy does get some flack every now and again to sort of say, look, you kind of always send roughly the same kind of style of song. This is an opportunity to kind of change that, you know? But I know that like his win was very controversial within sort of Italy based on like the victory,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, because so I think it's kind of related to the voting system because if you take in count the votes that were counted in the super final, Sal Da Vinci would have came third. And
Mm,
by doing the average with the rest of the nights, he won. So just by that, he won. And he also didn't win a televote. So it was kind of controversial, I'd say, but that is related to the voting system. I think overall, Sanremo, every time someone wins, there will always be someone that complains about it. So it's always controversial.
yeah.
But yeah, this year was a little bit more, I think, because what I said before, I think it's because the song is way too different from what we usually see at Sanremo. Um, but yeah, in my opinion, it is okay to be fun sometimes. Like,
Yeah,
it's
why
not
not?
bad.
Everyone deserves to have a little bit of fun every now and again, you know? It's totally fine. And Italy is no exception to that. Which is good, yeah. So with that out of the way now, we now know that obviously Sal Da Vinci is now going to Eurovision. He's going to be representing Italy. What do you make of his chances? Because this is like how we were saying, this is something very different for Italy when it comes to something like Eurovision. So do you think that it puts him at an advantage or a disadvantage?
All right, so this is so unpredictable for me because I think it sort of has an advantage because this is the only song that sounds like that at this year's Eurovision. But at the same time, I think that if the staging feels like way too classic or like way too poor, I think it might be forgotten somehow. So I think it has great chances to like stay, how can I say it, like to stand out, but at the same time, if a tiny detail goes wrong, it might flop. But in terms of results, I think Italy can get the top 10. Don't know how, but I think we can do it.
I mean, Italy always has this kind of magic ability to manage to get into the top 10 somehow, doesn't it? So I think it's totally within the realm of possibility. It's kind of interesting. So Italy it will also be performing in semi-final one of there, and semi-final one is so filled with all of the big like kind of hitters, like fan favorites and that. So it'll be interesting to see where it gets put in the running order because currently at the time of recording we don't know what the running order is. Um, if it ends up being put sort of amongst the likes of, Sweden and Greece and Finland and that, I think it would be really interesting to see where that will kind of fill and how it will go into the flow. And if that works well, then I think Italy does have a really good shot. But if it comes at a point where it's very disjointed, I think it probably will be a little bit lower. I think I could it's such an unpredictable song. You can't really tell where it's going to go. It could easily be like, sixth place, but it could also easily be 16th place or something.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, it's really, really hard to say. But I'm intrigued to see what they bring. Because again, we know Italy is now experimenting a bit more with their staging, like they're not just taking the same thing from Sanremo and then just putting it on the Eurovision stage. Like we saw that with Lucio Corsi, obviously last year. They completely switched it up. They completely changed it as well for Angelina Mango as well, which is fantastic. So, um, yeah, I'm excited to see what they're actually going to bring. I think, which is really good. And I guess just one final question then. I mean, obviously now, going into 2027, now we have a new person sort of doing Sanremo as in like being the artistic director, because obviously Carlo Conti is now left. So, what do you think the future is now for Sanremo?
Okay, so yeah, you're right. Stefano De Martino will be the new artistic director. And honestly, that is unpredictable too, because he's got no um no experience in that field really. Like he's a really great host. He's been hosting a show in Italy that like blew up because of him. So he's definitely a great host. But in terms of artistic direction, I don't know. However, he comes from so he used to be a dancer, and he comes from Amici, the talent show. A lot of Sanremo artists come from Amici, so maybe that means that we will see some former Amici performers. I don't know. But yeah, it's really unpredictable because he's not fully related to music, but he will be working with Fabrizio Ferragutto, who used to be Måneskin's manager. So that sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds
But yeah,
all the
it is
names are
really
going in the right
unpredictable.
direction, to be fair.
Apparently,
Obviously, yeah.
apparently, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it seems it's all very rumor mill at the moment, but like we know that he's definitely doing it now, which is the main thing. So I think it'll be interesting to see what he
Yeah,
brings because sometimes you need a little bit of, fresh blood, something like that to kind of just, you know, kind of push the energy up a little bit and bring something new to
yeah,
the table that we aren't used to. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Italy brings to the stage now, next year. Because again, it's the most prestigious show in the country. How could you not bring the true talent of the country? So
yeah.
yeah. So do we have any sort of final thoughts on Sanremo just before we wrap things up?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoyed Sanremo as an Italian. I always love it, so I might be a little bit, I might have how do you say, a bias?
Yeah, bias, yeah.
Yeah, a bias. In Italy, we say bias.
Yeah, same thing.
So yeah, yeah, exactly. I enjoyed it. I might not be the biggest fan of the song we're sending this year, but I enjoy it, and that's what matters. I don't think it's bad. So yeah, that is my opinion, of course.
Yeah.
I hope we get a good result.
Well, I think so. I think it's definitely a risky year for Italy, but I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to pay off because I think it deserves to be taken, if you know what I mean. Like, who needs a bit of risk every now and again? Um, Again, I'm very looking forward to seeing what is next for Sanremo. I think, like we've had several years of the same artistic director, so let's try something new. Like I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the future of that's going to pay off. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like, I'm looking forward to it. So it'll be good.
Me
Lovely.
too.
Right. So that is what we think about Sanremo 2026. But do you agree with what we've been talking about? Do you think that we're on the right track with that? Do you think we should have been thinking about something else? Please do let us know in the conversation in the comment box down below. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of that stuff, just so that you always get notified for whenever we have a new video out. And check out that your site on all of our social medias. Check out that EurovisionSite.com as well, because we are still pumping out all of the news that's kind of going on in the midst of pre-party season. It's just nonstop at the moment. So can't wait to see how that's all going to build up once we get to Vienna. And yes, thank you so much to Sivi for joining me for this lovely video. It's been lovely to chat all things Sanremo with you. And
Thank you.
lovely. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. See you later.